Welcome to the Elrasta channel. In this video, I will explain the story of the Donghua series Swallowedstar, Season 2, Episode 77. In the previous episode, we saw how big the plan for the hydrogen bomb attack was, which was finally used against the golden behemoth monster. It becomes the last chance for the warriors to beat the monster. But, unfortunately, the plan that at first seemed to be going well ended up not working. The hydrogen bomb that injured the golden horned behemoth monster's body in a matter of seconds could regenerate and even grow stronger. Everyone has given up hope except for one person, Luo Feng, who is currently under the seabed, more specifically in the ruins of ancient civilization number 12, which he will soon finish. Then what is the next story? Without wasting time, this is the 77th episode of Swallowedstar. At the start of the episode, after the monster was hurt by a hydrogen bomb explosion that caused wounds in the abdomen, the golden behemoth monster heals quickly, which makes it angry because the bomb attack hurt him. The creature got rid of his anger by sending laser rain in all directions, which did a lot of damage to the area around it. Fortunately, there are no people in the area where the attack happened. From this, Inspector Jioi decided to take quick action in every part of the country before the creature went even more crazy and destroyed the area where people lived. The AI system at the Palace of the God of War was looking at the situation and found that the golden horned monster was moving quickly toward China. This fact is also known by Luo Feng, who heard it from Barbata. With a speed of 15,000 miles per second, it is estimated that the creature will soon arrive in China within 5 minutes. Of course, this makes Luo Feng very worried. Because the purpose of the monster golden behemoth is then close to Luo Feng's hometown of Jiangnan base, so, Luo Feng, who felt pretty calm about his mission to find ancient ruins number 12, called his family and told them to put him in a gravitational room that was known to be safe. They were also not supposed to leave before Luo Feng told them to. As he continued to trace the inside of the big plane, Luo Feng thought that if the monster golden behemoth got to the China region, there would be a tragedy of falling deaths that couldn't be avoided. So, before all of that happened, he had to find the strongest weapon to kill the golden behemoth monster as quickly as possible. In this case, Luo Feng again asked Barbata for information about the ruins of ancient civilization number 12, which he would soon enter. After analyzing it, Barbata found a cabin door inside the aircraft carrier that led to the ancient ruins. Luo Feng kept sliding while following Barbata's instructions and checking the security around him. After going deeper into the cave, Luo Feng found a spaceship, which turned out to be the ruins of the real ancient 12 civilization. Barbata then immediately scanned the aircraft to identify it. And this is known if this large aircraft is an Interstar Fleet aircraft that was destroyed by Huyen Bo in a one-time attack in the past. Whereas the spaceship that has now been successfully found by Luo Feng is known as the aircraft owned by Clan Black Dragon Mountain with the X-81 type, which is more expensive than this large aircraft. Equipped with a pretty good weapon that can kill Star Warriors at the 7th or 8th level. The attack is also hundreds of times stronger than what the first Star level warrior could do. While Barbata was trying to open the door to the cabin, she also said, strong aircraft like this should only be owned by universe-level figures or by a warrior with a fairly well-known background. And not long ago, the cabin door of the plane was successfully opened. But unfortunately, there is one more entrance on the plane, and it has a defense system that is hard to get around. Shortly after getting in, the ship's lights came on and they saw another entrance. From the information Barbata gave, it is also known if the entrance, which is now in front of Luo Feng, has a strong laser defense system that will stop any foreign warrior who tries to enter. And this is why the Earth fighters can't enter these 12th ancient ruins. They were all killed by laser attacks before they could get in. To find out how horrible the laser is, Luo Feng took advantage of his flying knife attack, which he would aim at the entrance. After being shot, Luo Feng's flying knife easily bounced off the laser attack. From this, we can figure out that one laser shot is about as strong as one shot from the laser cannon on Earth. Luo Feng has to avoid a strong laser shot, and he also has to open the main door, which looks still closed and can't be opened automatically. According to Barbata, the hull of this spaceship is made of the black metal yttrium. Even the universe fighters will find it difficult to destroy it. Similarly, the leader of Hong, as the strongest warrior on Earth, will not be able to scratch it. To overcome this problem, Luo Feng intends to use the shards of red copper, which are his strongest weapon. However, it is possible to do, but unfortunately, with the power of Luo Feng, it is now very impossible to be done. Because Luo Feng is still unable to use the weapon optimally. But luckily on the side of Luo Feng there is always a Barbata full of brilliant ideas, where she continues to issue a thin, disc-shaped object called the giant force jack that is commonly used as a tool to repair spacecraft. The way it works is similar to a car jack on Earth, but it has much higher strength. That is the object given to Luo Feng when he opens the main door, and then Luo Feng must put it in the narrow gap between the main door and the side door. Although Luo Feng is now equipped with a rubbed cloud rattan armor and the shape of the shield of the Heaven Forbid shuttle, because he is still doubtful whether it was able to minimize defense laser attacks. However, nothing can be determined until he tries it. Without further ado, Luo Feng moved quickly towards the door to avoid the laser shot that appeared. The laser shot him continuously. Make Luo Feng difficult and assume that if it breaks through directly, that is not an effective way. So he used the moment to throw the jack with his mental strength towards the main door. But in fact, the response from the laser is so fast and sensitive. So that the jack that Luo Feng had flown was bounced by the laser, and Luo Feng was also thrown back to the starting point. A little good idea from Barbata after knowing the laser is eyeing any object that will enter the hallway outside the door. Surely it would be very difficult if Luo Feng only acted alone. Where the laser that appears only targets himself alone. So what will happen if the number of targets to be attacked by this laser keeps increasing? Tricks to multiply targets can be done by breaking the Heaven Forbid shuttle into flying knives, which are then used to block the laser shot. Luo Feng immediately understood what he had to do and then sent a giant force jack that was escorted by the Heaven Forbid shuttle, which formed many knives to block the laser attack. And finally, this way can be applied all at once. Where the jack made it into the gaps of the entrance. Barbata then continued to activate the jack to open the door. After the giant force jack managed to open the door. But the jack was immediately attacked by a laser shot, so the open door would not have much time before it was closed again. This is considered by Barbata because the existence of a kind of artificial intelligence system automatically detects it if the main door is being broken by something. Because he didn't have much time left, Luo Feng moved toward the main door using a similar trick in which the laser attack that was aimed at him was blocked by his flying knife blade. Until Barbata's jack was finally broken into pieces. But Luo Feng, who had just walked through the main door, which shut quickly. Luo Feng was lucky to be able to get into the plane's cabin, but the rubbed cloud rattan that protected his body felt tired after a laser attack. Luo Feng also said he would give gifts to this protected plant after all this tragedy ended. The next step is to go to the main control room. There, Barbata will put the signal sender into the interface of the spaceship AI system so that it can turn off the defense system in all rooms. This way, Barbata can also take over the system in the spacecraft and control it. Then both of them went to the main control room. We turn to the main control room, and here we will be shown some unique creatures resembling humans who do not make movements. Followed by the active AI system that detects if there is an intruder on this spaceship who is a human race with a star traveler level with a low level of threat. Of course, it refers to Luo Feng. The artificial intelligence automatically runs the command to kill the intruder. In other areas, we are shown a black yttrium copper-coated figure made of the same material as this black ship. Who will get rid of all kinds of threats that come to this spaceship? Now Luo Feng has entered the inside of the ship and is almost in the main control room. But at that moment, Barbata felt 3 signs of foreign existence that began to approach quickly towards Luo Feng. Because of the electrical reaction of the 3 figures, Barbata believes that they are a robot who served as a guard in this spaceship. Barbata did not expect that this aircraft that had drowned in the ocean and whose age had touched the 800,000 mark this year had a robot defense system that was still functioning. When compared to the ruins of Huyenbo spacecraft that were buried for 50,000 years. And not long after that, the 3 guard robots that Barbata had talked about also showed up in front of Luo Feng. When they saw that Luo Feng was a threat, they moved at the same time to attack him. With a flying knife attack and a thunder sword technique, Luo Feng didn't seem to do any damage to these guard robots. And this is where the 3 robots keep hitting Luo Feng with hard blows that have a lot of power. Attacked by 3 guard robots who have a combination of attacks without any opportunity for his opponents to attack, Luo Feng feels quite overwhelmed. In order to avoid the opponent's insistent attack, he also thought of expanding the distance between them. Then Luo Feng quickly took advantage of a gap he got to launch a counterattack with his drill technique directed at one of the robots. Luo Feng's attack was properly compared to pushing the robot backwards until it fell on the floor. But the attack did not do much damage. Where the guard robot got up again without a single scratch on his body. Realizing that the technique was no longer useful, Luo Feng went back and planned to use broken pieces of red copper to throw his strongest attack and defeat the opponent. But unfortunately, the red mixed copper, which is now Luo Feng's strongest weapon, can only cause a small scratch on the guard robot. From Barbata's information, it is known that these 3 robots were created from the same material as the hull of this aircraft, namely black copper yttrium, so it would be very difficult to destroy them. Luo Feng knew he couldn't beat them, so he could only avoid and survive every attack that came at him. He also asked Barbata to find a way to solve the current problems. Barbata himself was looking for a way out at the time. When the guard robot moves under control of the AI aircraft system, Barbata here will try to hack it. While Luo Feng only needs to survive as long as possible. Luo Feng, who kept being beaten all out, almost no longer strong again, holding the opponent. He also continued to urge Barbata, who was still looking for a way out, and made Barbata even more panicked. After hurting opponents, in the end Luo Feng instead found a dead end that made him no longer run away. Next are the 3 guard robots that appear and will cast their fists together as an execution attack. In the cornered situation, Barbata finally managed to break into the AI system that controls the robots. Automatically stop their movements and save Luo Feng's life from the threshold of death. Barbata, who appeared while sighing, said, "Fortunately, these robots do not have their own awareness. Because if you have, then she won't stop it." The color of the rays coming from the body of the guard's robot was originally red but eventually turned green. This is a sign that the 3 guard robots are now under the control of Barbata and are already his. Even though these guardian robots looked very strong, Luo Feng said that they were still not enough to beat the golden horned behemoth monster, which had very strong strength and defense. The dead end that Luo Feng ran into was actually the entrance to the main control room. Here, Barbata controls one of the guard robots that has the ability to open the door. After the identity of the guard robot was checked, the door finally opened. As soon as they walked in, they saw the creatures standing in the room. But after being identified by Barbata, they were all harmless. Still, Luo Feng stayed alert, even though the figure didn't move at all.
这里没有危险。
After that, Luo Feng was called by Barbata, who had found the dead body of a warrior. Barbata thought this figure was important because of his costume. Luo Feng also looked closely at the figure with black clothes and hands that was built like an earthling. Luo Feng also tried to hold the corpse because he was so curious about it. But the bodies of the corpses instead scattered into dust and vanished. Because it was hundreds of thousands of years old and had been exposed to the bit of air from the outside world that Luo Feng brought in. The three figures behind him, which look like other races that Barbata talked about, are special guards from outer space. They are often called silver humans. The material used to make this silver human is silver stream metal, which is said to be more expensive than black copper yttrium. It has artificial intelligence that makes it seem like a real living creature. Aside from that, its body is shaped like water, so even a strong fighter's punch would have no effect on this figure. So even a punch from Huyen Bo would have no effect on the silver human, making him the best guard out of all the others. On the monitor screen, Luo Feng also saw the planetary language written on the artificial intelligence system of this plane. It told him to get out of there right away. But Barbata says that you can ignore the artificial intelligence's orders because he is no longer a threat to Luo Feng. Barbata told Luo Feng to quickly plug the signaling device into the hole in the plane's cockpit seat. After that, Barbata plugged in with confidence while wearing glasses because he thought he could take control of this plane in just 30 minutes. After that, the ship would officially be theirs. But all of a sudden, a warning signal came on because the plane had been forcibly hacked, and the plane's AI system asked for the password that the plane owner had made, and if not, this plane will explode in 30 seconds. This made Barbata, who was confident in himself, immediately irritated. Frantically, she also had to find a password that she had to enter. 30 seconds is a very short amount of time, and it's impossible to come up with a suitable password. Not even high-level artificial intelligence would be able to do it. The countdown continued, and Luo Feng's insistence only added to Barbata's confusion. But Barbata here will not give up until now. How does Barbata solve this problem? Let's wait for the continuation next week. And that's the end of this episode. If you like the explanation in this video, please like and subscribe so that this channel can grow. See you next my video, bye.